Welcome back. When you're buying a house and you're at the closing table, you're going to be asked, hey, would you like to purchase owner's title insurance? Big question is, should you do it?
Well, we don't know the answer, so we brought in the expert, John Bennett, a real estate agent with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Premier Properties, to answer some of the frequently asked questions related to title insurance. John, welcome back to the show. Okay, so some of these, just even the question makes me kind of panic because I don't know that I fully understand what's being asked. So can you start just by telling us what is a title? What is title insurance?
Yeah, your title is going to be the deed for your house, which shows your ownership. The owner's title insurance policy is going to be what protects that against any errors that may be recorded on the property. Some other example that those are going to protect is, say you're buying a farmstead and there's many family members and somebody signs off as a trustee for the property and they're not. That could come back to get you down the road, and this is going to protect you against that.
Can you give us a couple examples? Like, what do you mean? What am I buying the protection for?
It's a protection against anyone who may stake claim in that property. So say you live there for 3 years and someone comes forward and says that they still have ownership in that farmland. That's going to get very expensive if you go through all of those costs and everything like that. So this is going to protect your interest against that and your ownership. And this can also save you a lot of money down the road in attorney's fees and court costs and everything that goes into it.
Sounds scary on the flip side, so protect yourself up front.
Yep.
What does this cost up front?
It's usually a few $100s. You can call me or your real estate agent and get that quote from you or from us, and that comes from whatever title company you're using. It's usually a couple $100s, and that's good for 30 days after closing. You can purchase it after that. The cost is just going to go up.
Okay. What about new construction?
New construction, a lot of people think you don't need it for new construction. The house is new, you're the first owner, but it actually follows the land for that property. Sitting down at the closing table looking at those abstracts for new construction, they can go all the way back to the 1800s. So it protects as far back as the land goes. It's not just for the home itself.
Is title insurance optional?
It is. I would recommend it. A lot of people might get that mixed up with the lender's policy. This is going to be different. The lender will require their own lender's title policy. This is the owner's title policy, which is going to be completely different than the lender.
This seems obvious, but this is just another great reason for why someone should work with you. And because when you think you might be asked these questions, you don't want to sit down and be alone.
Yeah, it's just, there's so much more that goes into it. And a lot of people will think too, hey, if I'm paying cash for a property, I don't need to use this, which is, I would recommend it more when you're paying cash, because when you're buying with a loan, it's going to go through the bank. There's a lot of people looking at that deed and the title, going through the process and checking everything. When you pay cash, it just gets recorded with the county, so nobody's really checking over those documents for those errors, which could get you down the road.
And this is just your experience working with this, that none of these questions even, seem to frazzle you at all. You're just like, this is how it is.
It's a few $100s, and it can save you hundreds of thousands of dollars down the road if it were to go into the court systems and attorney's fees and drag out forever. So it can really protect you and your interest.
How can people get a hold of you if they have questions?
Give me a call at 701-200-0621 or John at bhhspreproperties.com. And then we've also included the links for you guys to look at too. I know it's a lot to read on TV, but reach out to us and we can email you the copies of that, or it'll be online later too if you want to research it more.
And if someone reaches out to you, this is stuff that you discussed before you're actually sitting down at the table as well, though.
I send it out to my clients about a month before closing, because you will be asked at the closing table, and it's less of a surprise to people, and you're not going to know what they're talking about at the closing table, and you have everything else on your mind.
So no worries with reaching out and saying, hey, I heard you talking about this. I'm not sure if I need it.
Give us a call if you want more details, and we have some brochures we can send out for it, or sit down with you in person and walk you through the process too.
Always a good idea to protect yourself in advance. Like you already said, save yourself the money.
Save yourself down the road for a few $100s.
Good stuff, man. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, stay with us. Coming up next, Viking superstar in the studio. That's coming up right after this.